If things are starting to fall apart, or you feel like the reality that you're living in this moment is an extremely far cry from the life that you see yourself living, try not to get frustrated. Try instead to get suspicious. Let me explain. We've all heard the generic advice to believe in yourself, but I feel like for people who actually really struggle to believe in themselves, being told that doesn't really help. So I was tweaking that phrase a little bit for myself because I like playing with language to get different and more meaning out of it. And I was like, what if you take the "in" out of that statement and just say, believe yourself? To me, the statement "believe yourself" has an entirely different energy than the statement "believe in yourself." And the reason why is because believe yourself means state your truth and then just believe it and let it go. State your truth and live as though it is the truth, and don't put energy into trying to prove it to yourself or anybody else. So for instance, many years ago, I was setting goals for myself, for my career, things like that. And one of the statements that I made at that time when I was goal planning was, I am a sought after brand strategist and designer. This was like a decade ago. So this was before my career got off the ground. But I made the statement and I wrote it down. I am a sought after brand strategist and designer. Then I decided to just believe that was true. And I lived my life as though that was the case. I operated my business as though that was the case. I set up systems to support a lifestyle in which I am an in-demand, sought after brand strategist and designer. So I just took that truth and ran with it without worrying about who believed it, whether or not I had proof of it, whether or not there was somebody validating it. I chose to believe myself. And as a result, my life began to materialize as such. So to bring it back to my original point, if you get to a point in life where it starts to feel like multiple things are out of whack, where things are just not in alignment, you're being challenged in a lot of ways that don't feel constructive. You're being beat down by different circumstances or different connections or interactions or environments. And it's really starting to get to you. Rather than getting frustrated and annoyed and in a loop of self-pity, get suspicious. Because if you believe yourself, then you know something's not right here. It's like in suspenseful, mysterious movies that have like a surreal component when a character is in a scene and everything seems to be normal until one thing seems like it's not normal. And then suddenly you realize, oh, they're in a dream. This isn't real. And they wake up and it's like a whole different thing. Get that suspicious about your life when everything is falling out of whack. You know why suspicion is a more valuable emotional response than self-pity? Because suspicion prompts curiosity. Suspicion turns you into a detective, and it causes you to start exploring what are the root causes of the things that are not working in my life right now. Rather than being overwhelmed by your circumstances, you become curious by your circumstances, and you start to investigate and weed out the individual causes of the things that are going awry in your life. And it's only by doing that that you can actually start to like climb your way out of this warped reality that you don't want to live in, and start figuring out how to get yourself into closer proximity to the reality that you know you're meant to have. Why? Because you believe yourself. You know who you are. You know your truth. You know what you're destined for. And you know that the experience that you're living in right now doesn't seem in alignment with that truth. So get suspicious, get curious about it, and start digging your way out of this weird alternate reality into the one that you know you're meant to have. Because if you're right about you, this is completely out of whack. So get it together. Mwah.